Gotta hit the start streaming.
Ready.
Go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Nerd Week Live here on YouTube, brought to you by the folks at Nerd Caliber. I am Rodney Brown, first-person shooter on the interwebs, editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber. I am also Burly Adopter, or Burly_Adopter, since I always give people a hard time when they don't put those in there when I ask them about their Instagram handles, and that's a Twitter handle. It's what I go by when I do tech journalism and stuff. Joining me tonight is
Hello,
wonderful person.
I'm Gogo Incognito. I've been a long-time collaborator with Nerd Caliber. You will see me at New York Comic Con with them. I just got back from Canada literally last night, where I was headlining the Winnipeg Burlesque Festival. Next week, you will see me at Dragon Con, where I will be the head judge at the opening night party at the Money Hutch. We'll talk about that later. Top.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And if you guys are making Steve and Pax Adventures, hello. If you guys or any of you are making the trip down to Dragon Con, obviously check out GoGo. We'll have a pretty big team there this year. Wonderlamma Photo doing photos, Bent Pick 5 as always, stalwart for us down there, and two video people. B&H Photography is going to be doing video, and Chocolate Ninja Cosplay is going to be doing video for us. So find them, check them out, and have fun. Who else? Mighty Grape. Hello, Mighty Grape 354. Hello. If you were watching Flamingo, you don't know how you got here. I don't know either, Mighty Grape. Hang around if you want to talk about the nerdy news that happened in the last week. A lot of which happened
really nice
just
and
Today.
Really smart, so stay around.
Well, we're really nice. And okay, some of us like Gogo are really smart. Brady, hello, and Billy Boy says hello, so hello to Billy Boy. And Steve, and Pax, where are you going to do your cosplay as Godzilla next month? Which Steve and Pax just said. Venus, hello, welcome to the show. So we got a bunch of stuff that we're going to get into, but we're going to go through them pretty quickly so we can get to those big stories that popped today, because there's a lot to talk about with those. And the first one is... So that is the real live human. There is Li Du-Yu, who is cast as, Ludi Lin. Boy, did I get that one wrong. And I see why, because he's cast as Liu Kang in the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie, as they call it, the Mortal Kombat Reboot, because there were those two earlier ones, as we all recall. We talked about this a while back. James Wan is producing, the producer and director of Aquaman. And it's being directed by a relative newbie to film, who did a lot of commercials, somebody named Simon McQuoid. So, this looks like it's a good casting. I mean, certainly looks like the character. Apparently, this person, Ludi Lin, has played mostly... In come on, what's the name of the series? What's the name of the series? Power Rangers. He's a Black Ranger. So in the current run of the Power Rangers, Ludi Lin is the Black Ranger.
All right, well, there's some cred right there.
That true?
Absolutely. Like, whatever happens, there is Power Rangers cred right there.
Gogo, nobody here can read lips, so...
Sorry, but Aquaman...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to get caricature on you, but Aquaman...
Yeah, no, Aquaman was a hot mess. It was...
Oh, but I wanted it to be. I just wanted it to be. As a lifelong, like, DC girl... who grew up watching all the cartoons and like all the things, like I turned it off halfway through. I don't even know how it ends.
I finished it, but it's It's a whole bunch of dumb. Some of it's fun dumb, but mostly it's just dumb. Um, let's see. Just a second. We had Stephen Pax. Do you live in America? Both of us do. Completely different places in America. Most of the
Hi.
team does. Um, Gabby Castillo, what is going on? This is the Nerd Week Live news show where we talk about nerd news from the past week. Husky, hello. And Steve, so you're a big fan of the Power Rangers. If you're watching the current run of the Power Rangers, how do you feel about Ludi Lin, the guy who plays the Black Ranger? Um,
Right.
does he do a good job? Do you think he's going to do a good job of uh, being Liu Kang? Liu Kang. Wow, one of those nights. In the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie. So let us know. But while we're waiting for your comment, we're going to move on to our next topic. And our next topic is more casting announcements for the upcoming Wheel of Time series. If you're not familiar with Wheel of Time, it is a 12, I think, volume, massive, enormous fantasy series, book series, that has not been adapted to anything really because it's just too darn big. 15 books. Whoops, I missed a couple at the end. Um,
I haven't. I'm so excited to start reading it because I really like those kind of epics. I haven't yet, but I'm so. But I can't judge on the adaptation until I've read the books.
This is true. You won't know whether or not it's a faithful adaptation. I try, even though I haven't read all of the books. I read the first one, and then I should have kept going, but got kind of scared of the. When I read that, there was actually only 8, I think. But I like to keep those things separate so that I can really think of the visual entertainment as a separate piece, and not necessarily go, "Ooh, it didn't happen this way in the book." Even though I had read the books of Game of Thrones, I still tried to keep those things separate. So the news here, I could give you the names of all of the people that are. In fact, I'll do this just real quickly. Madeline Madden as Agweni Alvere, I think that's the name. Marcus Rutherford as Perrin Ibarra. Barney Harris as Matt Cawthon. Zoe Robbins as Nineve Almera, and Joshua, it is Joshua, not Joshua, Joshua Stradowski as Rendal Thor. The reason you don't know any of those names is because they've done very little. This is sort of like the casting, as this article points out, of the kids in the very first Harry Potter movie. The idea is these are young actors, and they're not kids, they're supposed to be young adults, but these are young actors that can play through a storyline that could run essentially the length of 15 books. And it's not like they don't have the money. This is Amazon. It's going to be an Amazon series, so they got bucket loads of money. And it's not like they spent a ton on the one big name, because she's not that huge name. Rosamund Pike is playing Moiraine, the wizard lady that sort of leads them all. If this sounds kind of familiar about a group of young adventurers being led by a wizard on a quest, yeah, that's that's the way things go in the fantasy world. And apparently, my Google Assistant somehow thought that I was talking to it. Sorry about that. Anyway, so it's moving along. Those are the main cast. That's the group of heroes that are going on this adventure. So they've got those people, even though they've not been in a whole lot of things collectively. Moving on to our next topic, and this, I'm a little on the fence about this one. So that image that just popped up there is from the 2000 BBC adaptation of the Mervyn Peake trilogy, Gormenghast. Titus Groan, Gormenghast, and Titus Alone. And it did a very faithful job of adapting the books so that it was very British and kind of boring. Those are not always the same thing. And one of the ways those are not the same thing is hopefully what's going to happen in this new adaptation. It is a series. being done by Showtime, and Neil Gaiman is going to be one of the writers and producers. So that could.
All right, but we also have yes. We have Neil Gaiman. We have Good Omens. We have, which is what many of y'all maybe know him from. Also, I give our watchers more credit than that for knowing Neil Gaiman around the way. But this is also a Doctor Who writer and Akiva Goldsmith. If you don't know Akiva Goldsmith, go look him up.
Yes, Goldsman, not Goldsmith.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Akiva Goldsman. There is beauty in what he has done for the past, I don't even know how many years, but it has been large and it's been good and it's been growing. And I can't wait to see how this happens. I don't even, as a Neil Gaiman fan, I don't even know this world, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited just to see who's involved. And again, thank you, Akiva Goldsman. So I want to see how this goes, and I'm ready for it. I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it too. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers was the character that you see there. He is not Titus, in fact. He's I'm trying to think of the character's name. He sort of sets all of the machinations in motion that drive the plot. In fact, in the first book, Titus is an infant. But he was good, and the rest of it was fairly faithful to the book, which, like I said, I found to be dry as all get out. I'm really hoping that is not going to be the case with Neil Gaiman at the helm and with Goldsman. I mean, A Beautiful Mind. Now, he wrote A Beautiful Mind. What a wonderful movie that was.
He's done a lot. There's been a lot of times that you have seen like credits and it's like person, Akiva Goldsman.
Yep.
Person. I mean, he has been around a long time. His fingers have been in a lot of pots. So.
Oh, this is interesting. So we've talked about this a couple of times. That Steerpike is the name of the character that Jonathan Rhys-Meyers was played in that 2000 version. We've talked about this a couple of times that Neil Gaiman has this enormous overall production deal with Amazon that they're paying him a ton of money, and a lot of his stuff is going to be going there. This is not part of that because it's a Showtime deal. So obviously it's not exclusive. Amazon doesn't own him. So this will be cool to see where they go with this.
Exactly. The headline is Showtime developing fantasy drama adaptation. Toby Whithouse, Neil Gaiman, Akiva Goldsman. So keep your eyes open. It's not all the same thing.
Exactly. Before we move on to our next topic, Sarah, welcome to the show. Sarah, you are not okay. I hope you get better. And then, does everyone know that YouTube chats are, and then it ends? So if you can tell us what you think YouTube chats are, fire away. That'll be cool. Moving on to our next. So, hey, I'm going to tell you what's going on. I had to do that. I'm sorry. When I looked through a million different HeMan photos, the only one that I could put up there is, of course, the one from the adaptation. That's not the right word. The use of the song "What's Going On" from Four Non Blondes. But what's going on is that there is going to be a HeMan animated series coming to Netflix. And I saw that headline, and I went, really? I mean, okay. I mean, they did well with She-Ra.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. And
they did.
So I thought, okay, well, maybe this is going to be kind of like that sort of Steven Universe-esque animation and a very aware, woke kind of storyline. And then right in the top, it's Kevin Smith is going to be doing this. So I don't think this is going to be. It could be a fun, kid-friendly version of He-Man, but
But it'll
apparently,
be completely different than She-Ra. That's the
oh
whole
yeah,
thing. We get excited. We're like, yeah, you're doing it. You're bringing the nostalgia. You're taking this great iconic thing and we're bringing it. And oh, Kevin Smith. Like, it's not that I don't like him. It's just that it's just a different ideology.
it is. Although he says, and I'm trying to find the quote here. So the series is called Masters of the Universe Revelation, and so we pick up right where the classic era left off to tell an epic tale of what may be the final battle between He-Man and Skeletor. Um, Powerhouse Animation is the animation studio behind it. Um, Not surprisingly, this is the studio that did Castlevania for Netflix. Um, I kind of made a joke about wouldn't it be great if Warren Ellis was actually writing this, but then it turns out Kevin Smith is. So less, well, probably the same amount of swearing. And
I was about to say, like, are we gonna have? Okay.
yeah, we may have He-Man dropping an F-bomb or two.
Okay. Well, let's be honest. Like Castlevania, that is like if you're an anyway. It's censorable for certain parties.
Yes, yes, there are parts of Castlevania that language definitely needs to be censored.
I learned some new words. I have to say, I did. I was fun. I've been using them prolifically. Okay.
That may actually because it was written by Warren Ellis, who's a Brit, and that could be you learn some new British swears, which is cool.
Yeah.
Go check the most recent video. I left a comment on it. I don't know why they hid that. Sorry, Brady. The YouTube hid your last comment. I'm gonna not hide it. Oh, darn it. I hid it, not showed it. Let me see if I can change that. Nope. It only means I can only do worse stuff. So Brady, if you want to post that message about your comment on our video, do it again. I'll show it. I don't know why I hid it this time, but because there's nothing wrong there. Anyway, getting back to this, so Kevin Smith also has, apparently he's getting heavily into the animation thing. Remember, Kevin Smith also has that deal, he's making the Howard the Duck animated series for Hulu under the Marvel banner now that Disney owns pretty much all of Hulu. There we go. So, yay-ish, I guess?
I don't know. I do get worried about one thing owning all the things. Like I do feel like Disney is being this like weird like it's almost like and I love Disney. Like I grew up with Disney. I'm still a Disney geek, like hardcore. But I'm starting to feel a little bit like Stephen King's like The Blob, like it's coming like. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I do, and
like if it's everything, that's
hold that thought for the last topic because that definitely fits in the last topic for sure.
I absolutely shall.
So and no projected date for when this is going to happen. They just put out the announcement. It's official. It's not a rumor. They actually put out the announcement, and Kevin Smith had a quote in it, and so on. So we're moving on to our next thing. And speaking of Disney, because, you know, that's a Disney princess right there, if there ever was one now, or for the last however many years since they bought Lucasfilms. The story is Ewan McGregor, as far as I can tell, this is still a May, although it's pretty much everybody's reporting it as a done deal, return as Obi-Wan Kenobi in a series that's going to be on the Disney Plus streaming service. Proving once again that you can throw enough money at even an uncorruptible Jedi to corrupt him.
And now you're making me feel like crap for really, really wanting to stream.
Oh no, I really want to see it too. Believe me,
I know. But like when I first saw it, I thought like, because the talk had been for years, like about that, you know, Ewan McGregor would come back and there'd be a whole movie because like they made that Solo movie.
Well, they were planning on making a solo Obi-Wan movie, and that didn't happen. So that was the big. This is in a lot of people's minds the sort of transition of Disney decided that since they're Oh, I see what you mean. The solo movie. I thought you meant a solo Obi-Wan movie.
No. I meant both. Like there has absolutely been rumors like for years
Yes.
with that there would be, especially with all the like Star Wars stuff that's happening and like blah 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 blah, that there would be a whole like Obi-Wan trilogy in and of itself, that we'd get to see Ewan McGregor again. Maybe we'd get to see Ewan McGregor, who honestly, if you don't like him as Obi-Wan, come for me, but I will defeat you. Um, hi. But anyway, there has been like all this banter and like all the things and all the time. It's been a discussion. And so like there's been this whole dip into like, is there going to be a movie? And then with the solo, like when we go back and now it's like, oh, it's streaming. It's going to be streaming with all the other I mean, sure. I mean, I guess I'm going to stream it already.
Yeah, but you get so $6 a month to get Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, all of these series, the Marvel stuff, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know, sure, I'm there. You know,
no, I'm absolutely there, and I think I've been saying that every time I've been, on the stream in the past while. It's like every time something else is announced, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I'm there. But some of this stuff is like stuff that was teased that I kind of wanted to maybe. I thought they were maybe like going to bring out like on the big screen, and now it's TV. So now you have to really sell us on a whole different level because TV is different.
it is different, but remember this is a streaming service, so and it's Disney, so they're going to throw more money at it than God. And it's going to have special effects that literally they didn't have the last time we saw him in a movie. So I've got a 40-something inch TV, and relatively speaking, in my small living room, that's close to a theater experience.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, so bring it.
Yep.
Anthony, if they did an Obi-Wan trilogy, would the movies be named Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan 2, and Obi-Wan 2, 3? You get a cookie for that one, sir. Or Obi-Wan 2, 2? T-O-O? Very well done. Not a well done cookie, though. Anyway.
No, it's still baking. I'm working on it. All right, here we go.
Since this has not been actually 100% officially announced by Disney Plus yet, we don't know anything about dates or who's doing it or anything like that. It's still technically in talks. I.e., how many zeros can you put at the end of that?
There have been people that I mean, this is one of my like main happy things is Star Wars stuff, especially old Star Wars stuff. But there have been people that's like, oh, here's an announcement, and people are like, let him die, he's dead, and I'm like, have you no compassion? Have you no nostalgia? Like seriously, like I don't know. Raise your hand if you're in the comments, whatever. If you just, I mean, Obi-Wan is a legend.
He is a legend.
And
he had so many adventures that there's so much to mine in there.
Exactly that. Like, let's play in that, and let's play in that sandbox. Let's get that world. I'm not sure if you can be like a Star Wars true fan, and maybe people are going to come for me if I say this and be like, Obi-Wan is dead, let him die. Nah.
Yeah, but that would negate, the making of Rogue One, which was a prequel. It would negate the making of basically the prequels, which were prequels. I mean, yeah. Anybody who throws that argument out should be thrown out. And Sandbox, at least he's not Anakin and hates sand. So, anyway, moving on after that horrible joke. But, and I didn't even get this sort of thematic tie-in until Gogo mentioned it earlier, but speaking of things that are nostalgic and are coming back, The Matrix. And not only The Matrix, this is officially The Matrix 4. This is officially Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss and Lana Wachowski is writing and directing. Lily Wachowski is nowhere to be seen in this story.
Which is different and interesting.
I don't know that the Wachowskis, as either brother and sister, or sisters, have ever not made a film together.
I don't know that either. Again, we understand and we accept that brothers are now sisters, and that's just how it went.
True.
But they've always been a duo. So we'll see how it goes. But that's new and different. Are we going to welcome back? Okay, also, come on, internet. You have not been on the internet if you have not seen Keanu Boyfriend. Like, all the memes, all the time, all the things. And that's just because he's just a good dude. He's just a gentleman. And I also feel bad because he's one of those people who's like, I don't like the spotlight. And people are like, let's put him in the spotlight and make him internet's boyfriend. And they did. But he's agreed to come back to this iconic role. Let's see how it goes.
And I have no idea. Yes, Anthony, you're breathtaking. I have no idea what they have planned for the story because he kind of dead. And in this case, since it is Matrix 4, it's not a prequel. Your previous statement about Obi-Wan really does kind of stand up. He's dead, Jim. Let him, stay dead.
Oh, did we get one of those?
Well, we didn't, but that's your statement about, people might say that. In this case, it would kind of hold up if somebody did say that, because he is canonically at the end of 3 dead.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't know how it's going to go. I didn't watch 3, I have to say.
It's worth watching for the completion. It's definitely not the best of the trilogy by any stretch. But if you... It definitely wraps up the very, very larger thematic elements of both the other 2 movies and the Animatrix. You really get a sense of what storyline they were trying to tell, and it's kind of a Jesus allegory, but it's a lot.
I'll check it out before the new one comes out. I promise.
Well, you know what? You can check it out because, according to this thing, starting August 30th, there will be special 20th anniversary screenings. I guess it's just of The Matrix at select AMC theater locations all around the U.S. Because 20 years. It's been 20 years, folks. Wow. No, Brady, you're breathtaking. 20 years since that movie came out.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't the only reason why I feel old.
Get out of town. Has it really been that long?
It's been that long, and actually I just remembered something. So getting back to the point about what they're going to be doing, at the end of... you haven't seen it, and this kind of gives away something, but I kind of want to... Because everybody else has sort of, I'm sure, has seen it. There's a discussion... There's a discussion between the Oracle and the Architect, and they make it pretty clear that what they're experiencing at that point is probably temporary. And things may get bad again. So that could be the driver of the plot, that things, between humans and machines go south again. And somehow Neo, like stopping bullets and being resurrected and everything else, comes back.
I'm stopping bullets. Do you see me?
No,
I'm skipping bullets.
You're in your bullet time.
I'm doing
You're
great.
in your bullet time.
Here we go.
Everybody in the audience, do bullet time. Anyway.
All right, here we go. We did it.
All right. Moving on to our last and saddest, most controversial topic. So that is a screenshot, of course, from Spider-Man Far From Home. And that is, as of right now and all the reports, the last time you will see Tom Holland in anything that has Marvel on it.
I refuse to accept this. I'm sorry.
So I think it's good that you refuse to accept it because it's not going to happen.
Exactly. But I can be angry and I can make gestures in
exactly.
my window box. Yeah.
And frankly, that's what either Disney or Sony, and my guess it was Sony that put out the release, wants everybody to do. They want people to be angry. So the story is, folks, in case you haven't read this, and I'm sure everybody's read this already, is that Disney and Sony were renegotiating or trying to renegotiate the deal about their cooperation in the Spider-Man universe, which Sony has the rights to. Even though Marvel, it's a Marvel character, Sony paid for the rights a long time ago and has successfully met everything that they needed to keep this going, which is make a movie in the Spider-Man universe every X number of years. And going all the way back to the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, through the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Mans, to Venom, and of course the Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, which were deals with Marvel. Marvel made them, Sony paid for them, Marvel got 5% of the revenue out of it, and the ability to use Spider-Man in MCU movies. Yeah, Luminous, this is a negotiation tactic. Luminous says, say it ain't so. Yes, I assume this is a negotiation tactic, but they're playing with fire. They are both sides are playing with fire, but this is fire that has to be played with at this level. You got to understand, Homecoming was the biggest selling movie or Spider-Man movie that Sony made, hands down. In fact, it's the biggest grossing movie Sony has ever made. Yeah. But Endgame was the biggest grossing movie of all time. Literally has made more money than any movie ever. In the Brady, wait, did Spider-Man die in the game? In the you know what? I'm not sure if this has any effect. I don't think this has any effect whatsoever on the Sony PS4 game.
We're talking movieverse right now, not gameverse.
Right. This is just about the negotiations between Disney and Sony for the movies rights, which Sony has.
Right.
So it's interesting to see. There's a lot of speculation out there about who's in the driver's seat for this particular bus that's going off a cliff. I think Sony is. And even though Marvel has made a ton of money and has made a ton of money for Sony, because Marvel made Homecoming and Far From Home. Sony paid for it and distributed it. Even though Marvel made it and has made a ton of money for Sony, Sony has Tom Holland. Sony has Marvel's Spider-Man. The Spider-Man that made the best, most tear-jerking scene in Infinity War. They're in the driver's seat, folks.
What was the name of the gent, though, that just was outed, who was the producer? What was his name?
Was outed as the producer of...
this thing. That was the whole thing, is that the split. There was a producer.
Oh, Kevin Feige, who was knocked out, yeah. So,
right.
So Kevin Feige is the executive producer of the entire MCU, and he's the guy that is in charge of making sure that everything gets made the way Marvel needs it to get made. To say that Feige is out is true, but then again, everybody that was involved in Marvel's making of those two Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland is out. So...
which I personally think, after reading all the things and reading about his background and reading all the things, thank you for reminding me of his name, Kevin Feige. There has been no other producer, and sometimes people are like, producer, what, director, what, star? But seriously, he has been the only one in the past while who has done the Marvel hits with all of our characters that we love. And every single one has come out on top, first in the theaters, and so far he's non-problematic. We don't have to be like, oh, he did this, he did
Yeah,
that. So
yes. And to put numbers on that, Kevin Feige has made Disney more than $8 billion.
that,
$8 billion. Anime King, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He's been Obi-Wan through all the prequels, but anyway, um, in his own series, I think is the big news. But anyway, getting
yeah,
back to Spider-Man. Um, it's not Feige who is getting in the way of this deal. It's
no, no,
negotiators.
correct.
And what happened was, for those who haven't read the article, is there was an attempt to renegotiate the deal. Disney said, you know, that 5% that we were making, that was really cool. We want 50%. They want a 50-50 split. Now
5 to 50.
yeah. Now they will also pony up more money. I mean, they'll also invest in the production. But they want a 50-50 split, and Sony not only didn't agree to that, they didn't make a counteroffer. They walked away from the table. That tells me Sony knows what it's got. Sony
Yeah,
knows that
absolutely.
it owns Tom Holland.
And Tom Holland, also, y'all can come in the comments and say whatever you want and like tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'm into this, but I've been a Spider-Man girl for forever, and this Tom Holland is my Spider-Man. I don't think I've ever seen. No, I haven't. I've never seen a better one on TV, even with a pound, 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 pound. I mean, like, come on. This is just correct, and it has to continue. And to mess with perfection, well, let's keep it going. And I just hope that the loss of the producer who has been giving us these heroes, our foes, our number one hits. Let's make sure that he goes where he's supposed to go, because everybody talks about directors and actors, but the producers are the ones that hire all those people. Let's make it happen. Also, Tom Holland, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Come to
Well,
me.
Tom Holland isn't going to go anywhere. Tom Holland's going to be
but
continuing to
I've
make
still got my
movies for
hands
Sony.
out for my precious cinnamon bun. I'm with.
And Kevin Feige isn't going to go. He's going to go exactly where he's supposed to be, like you said, and that is
Yes.
continuing to make Marvel movies. They just won't
Yes.
involve Tom Holland. Assuming this continues this way, and here's the thing, it won't. Because too many people have made too much money off of this deal, and somebody's going to give. This is a negotiation strategy, as Lumina said earlier.
Yeah.
It's a tactic to try to get both sides to come together. You know, it's a tactic by Sony right now to try to get people to go, oh my God, you can't have more MCU movies without Tom Holland. He's the best. We've got to have him. And make Disney go, okay, all right, we're 25 or whatever. But it's also a tactic by Disney letting this to get out there, saying, no, you can't, have Sony go back to making, Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2 or one of the other reasons why I say Sony is in the driver's seat on this negotiation, however, is Into the Spider-Verse.
Exactly. Yes.
Into the Spider-Verse executive producers and directors Chris Miller and Phil Lord have signed a deal to make live action TV series based on the Marvel characters that Sony owns the rights to, i.e. the entire Spider-Man canon, for upcoming Sony streaming, the Sony Pictures TV. That right there, that means that they could take Tom Holland and put him in as a guest star in, like, say, a Black Cat, or like they could revive that Black Cat Silver Sable movie they were going to do as a series. Have Tom Holland show up as a guest star every now and then to cement it directly into the now solely Sony Spider-Man universe, and they're going to make bank, because Tom Holland's in it. And these two guys are geniuses. I mean, if you don't If you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, watch it. If you
Oh my!
don't think it's one of the
Is
most
there anyone
amazing,
who's actually watching this who hasn't seen this?
it's possible. It's possible.
Please, please watch it. You'll
Love
be a better person
the
for it.
lean in and beg, please.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be obnoxious. I'm just like,
That's perfect.
how can you
Um,
not?
exactly. How could you have
No.
not seen this? If you haven't, please go watch
Into
it.
the Spider Verse is it's honestly it's if you have anything to do with graphic design,
Oh,
cinematography, motion design, anything, animation. It's groundbreaking and it's life changing. Watch it.
it is, and it's an amazing story. Candy Miller, welcome to the show. Um, so yeah, right now all of us are doing exactly what either Sony or Disney or both want with that news came out, and it's like, oh no, my life is ending. What's going on here? How can Marvel no longer have Tom Holland in MCU movies, and how can Sony go back to making crappy Spider-Man sequels? This can't happen. It won't. Disney likes money. Sony likes
Ah!
money. Brenton, hey, I'm so sorry. Your apologies accepted for whatever. I have no idea. Did I miss something back there? I might have. If I missed something, sorry about that. So it's. I feel it. I mean, I can't help myself from feeling the frustration and pain of how could they be this stupid? Well, they're not. They're actually being really smart about their negotiation tactics. It's just really painful for us to watch it happen and to consider the possibility that, yeah, maybe it really will end up this way. So,
Yeah. And maybe I mean, I had that visceral reaction earlier today. I was like, why would you mess with perfection? Money,
money.
money and negotiations and things beyond our control. Let's just hope it all goes well. And I just don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Like Spider-Man is exactly what I'm looking forward to right now.
So, what would absolutely please me more than anything else about this, other than just the deal getting done and everybody going, oh, we were just joking, is to have Tom Holland say, hey, look, I understand I'm contracted to like one more movie for you guys, Sony, but if I'm not also in the MCU, I'm not doing it anymore. And break his contract and see how that plays
Come on,
out.
Tom Holland, you are a star. You're a precious cinnamon bun. You are really the Spider-Man of a whole new generation. And you're also like the top grossing Spider-Man of whatever. And you've taken one of the biggest and longest loved and, profitable Marvel superheroes and made them your own. So I just wish that I was still working in like, you know, that kind of thing where I could be like, I'll represent you. I used to work in that
uh,
world. So
Agent to the
Tom
Stars.
Holland, if you're looking for a new agent, I'm just kidding. I don't want anything to do with it.
Probably a good thing. Um, this also, I mean, this could throw such a monkey wrench into Disney's plan and Marvel's plans going forward. They've never said anything about it, but the rumor is out there, and they certainly have set up a lot of things about a young Avengers. And if Tom Holland as Spider-Man isn't central to that, along with, you know, Cassie Lang as Stature and Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye series and whoever else they decide to put in there as like young Avengers, I don't know what they've been planning. Clearly, that seems to be where they're going here. If they don't have Tom Holland as that Spider-Man for that Young Avengers, that whole Young Avengers storyline may just go away. That may be a movie they just never make. And that would be criminal. So, so please, Sony, stop, and Disney, stop destroying our hearts. Stop, filling us with this drama. Get your deals done. Disney, back off. 50% is freaking stupid. I mean, that's just idiotic. Buy Sony if that's what you want to do. God, you got enough
Oh,
money.
but don't. Oh,
Yeah,
but
but
don't.
don't. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
but please don't. Okay, yeah. Let's not do that.
yeah. You don't need anybody else. Frankly, if you
You have
do,
plenty right now.
yeah, if you do, you're probably a monopoly target. So you're probably a monopoly target right now. But if you bought Sony,
Yeah.
you would definitely be. Anyway, that's our show. That's 45 minutes. All right. And wrapping up things with some upcoming stuff, like I said, in, well, technically 2 weekends. We'll have a whole bunch of people down at DragonCon. All of our team, Gogo's not on our team there, but Gogo will be there. So Gogo, tell us once again what you're doing at DragonCon.
Okay, I am usually on the Nerd Caliber team for cons, but not this one. I am independent. If you're coming down to Dragon Con, I am your maven for the opening night party. I am the head judge at the Bunny Hutch. That is Thursday night. That is the party where basically you just need bunny ears and this and that. And if you need any information on it, you just look up Dragon Con at the Bunny Hutch. Also, come see me. Come say hi. Be like, Go, I saw you on the internet. So I'll be like, cool. And then I will be joining Nerd Caliber again at New York Comic Con. But you'll see me before then. But Dragon Con, yes.
DragonCon, and yes, if you haven't seen any of the pictures from the Bunny Hutch stuff, you'd be amazed what people can turn into bunnies.
It's
it's pretty amazing stuff.
So wild! I'm so excited.
So New York Comic Con, we've got a big team. Well, getting back to DragonCon, like I said, Wonder Llama Photo Llama, Ben Pick 5, B&H Photo doing video, Chocolate Ninja Cosplay doing video. Check those people all out. Get your pictures, get your video. New York Comic Con, a big team as well, including the wonderful Gogo. And we just found out that we will be having our cosplay and photography shootout panel at New York Comic Con Sunday mid-afternoon, 2:30. Your judges isn't the right term. Your critiquers, the panelists, will be the man who invented this whole concept, Wonder Llama Photo, the amazing Kehet and Elysium Entertainment, the cosplay goddess, Bethany Maddock, and, as I said, our own wonderful Gogo Incognito.
Yes, it's going to be amazing.
It will be fantastic.
Yep.
If you are a cosplayer or you're a photographer, show up Sunday, the cosplay stage something. I'll have to look it up. Sunday, 2:30, and what we do is we pair cosplayers and photographers randomly and give them a random topic chosen by the audience to go out, and they've got generally half an hour or 45 minutes to make an image, the best image they can on that topic with that cosplayer, and bring it back and show it to us. We put it up on the screen, and the panelist critiques it, and we award a no prize. Lots of attaboys. Maybe an actual prize. We'll have to work on that.
Let's work on that. We'll work on that.
All right. If you want to check out how this works, and you're in the New England area, come to Granite State Comic Con, September 15th and 16th, Manchester, New Hampshire, which is where we debuted the cosplay and photography shootout 2-3 years ago. And it'll be a smaller con, so you won't have to deal with the New York Comic Con crowds, but you can get a sense of how it works, and how much fun it is, and how much fun all the cosplayers and the photographers have. Yes, Luminous, line up early. For New York Comic Con, we are probably going, now that we've got it officially done, we're probably going to put up a sign-up sheet and limit the number of people. Because we did this at PAX East just this last spring, and we ran almost an hour over and kept the poor enforcers in our room for an extra hour.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was not. It was the end of the night, so they could do that, but they didn't want to, and they were very nice about it. But anyway, so check all that out, and we will see a whole bunches of you next week, hopefully, where we'll have more news to talk about. Hopefully, a resolution of this Sony Disney thing.
And I'll be back in 2 weeks, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you at Dragon Con next week, literally.
Bye-bye.